Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okuru. The Niger Delta Avengers has issued what it calls a last warning to 7 state governors to free pro-Biafran activists being held in police and military custodies in their states. The warning was contained in a statement signed by the group's spokesperson, Mudok Agbanigbo. The group, which has claimed responsibility for several attacks in oil and gas facilities across the restive oil-rich region this year, has given 72 hours to the governors to free Biafran agitators. Some of the governors threatened by the group are Okezie Ekbazo of Abia State, Willie Obiano of Anambra State, Sereke Dixon of Bayelsa State, and Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State. Others are Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, Ifeanyi Ugwanyi of Enugu State, as well as Rochas Okorocha of Imo State. The Nigerian government has signed a 3-way agreement with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees and the Republic of Cameroon for the return of Nigerian refugees who fled to Cameroon. The Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, Sani Sidi, disclosed this when the African Union Humanitarian Mission, led by the Commissioner of Political Affairs, Dr. Aisha Abdullahi, visited the headquarters of NEMA in Abuja. Sidi, in a statement issued by the agency's senior information officer, Sani Dati, said the federal government had been making efforts to cater for all the basic needs of the affected refugees. The UN Refugee Agency has estimated that about 2 million people have fled the Boko Haram insurgency in northeast Nigeria. Nigeria has been working alongside other countries in the region, including Chad, Cameroon, and Niger, to put together a joint strategy to end the threat posed by Boko Haram. The ousted national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Senator Modu Sharif, has finally gained entry into the party's national secretariat after several attempts. Sharif led a group of his supporters to storm the secretariat early on Monday morning. He told reporters outside the party's headquarters that he remained the chairman of the party until 2018. Sharif gained entry into the Wadata Plaza just a few minutes after he was being denied entry into the plaza. The policemen stationed around the building were withdrawn on the orders of the Inspector General of the Police Force, Solomon Arase. The PDP has been immersed in a leadership crisis since it was defeated at the 2015 general elections last year. The party chairman, before the party's national convention held in Port Harcourt, has remained in charge of the party. However, a caretaker committee led by the former governor, Ahmed McCarthy, is now in charge of the party. The Nigerian Army has denied releasing the names and identities of some of its officers it compulsorily retired. Over the weekend, an online media revealed what they claimed is a partial list of the names and photographs of the supposed officers retired by the Nigerian Army. However, in a statement issued by its spokesperson, Colonel Sani Usman, the Army said it retired several officers but did not reveal any of their names. The Army said those retired include Major Generals, Brigadier Generals, Colonels, Lieutenant Colonels, and a Major based on service exigencies. It also denied allegations that those affected by the recent retirement exercise were deliberately pulled from a section of the country. It described the report as unfair and unethical. More on the Niger Delta region. The movement for the emancipation of the Niger Delta MEND has again condemned the recent spate of attacks on oil installations in the Niger Delta region by a group known as the Niger Delta Avengers. The rise in attacks in the oil-rich southern region in the last few weeks has driven Niger's oil output to a more than 20-year low. Just last week, the Avengers said they would not cooperate with the government to start talks with them and other militants over their demands for a greater share of oil wealth and pollution in the southern swamp region. However, MEND, one of the largest militant groups, until it signed up for a government amnesty in 2009, said in a statement it had nominated a team of negotiators on its own behalf. A female prominent activist from the Niger Delta region, Ankyo Briggs, has condemned the recent Niger Delta bombings on oil and gas installations in the region. Briggs, who is a close ally of former President Goodluck Jonathan, says the Avengers were not from Somalia. were from Somalia and not from Nigeria. The Avengers have claimed responsibility for recent attacks on oil and power installations in the Niger Delta region. The attacks have reduced almost by half Niger's oil production and caused darkness across the country by destroying pipelines that supply gas to power stations. A civil society organization known as the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has urged the Nigerian government to stand up to major oil companies in the Niger Delta region. According to SERAP, those powerful oil companies have continued to abuse the human rights of the people of the Niger Delta with impunity for decades to satisfactorily resolve the crisis in the region. SERAP, in a statement by its executive director, Adetokunbo Mumuni, said an important part of the solution to the human rights crisis is for President Muhammadu Buhari to implement the ECOWAS court judgments. The judgment ordered that the federal government must punish oil companies over oil pollutions and devastations in the region. The group said the Nigerian government should impose fines on oil companies for breach of regulations over the past 10 years and take measures to punish the companies. The federal government has commenced plans to bail out states for economic crisis for the second time since President Muhammadu Buhari took office in May 2015. The Ministry of Finance, in a statement, said the second bailout will be based on a few conditions that must be met by the states. It stated that to receive the bailouts, states must first fulfill the conditions in the Fiscal Sustainability Plan. Some of the conditions to be met by the states are publishing of audited financial statements and budgets, as well as inclusion of biometric and bank verification numbers, and also payroll review to weed ghost workers while limiting recurrent expenditure. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) says freezing of accounts suspected of being used for financial crimes is a mandatory investigative step towards the law. The anti-graft agency was responding to reactions that throw the freezing of accounts of suspects that were investigated or are currently being investigated. A statement by the head of media and publicity of the EFCC, Wilson Owujaren, on Monday said the need to explain the reason behind the actions in order to prevent misinformation. Nigerians are celebrating the 23rd anniversary of the day that has come to be recognized as a defining moment in the country's history. Popularly known as June 12, it commemorates the day in 1993 when the then military regime of General Ibrahim Babangida annulled the country's presidential elections. The celebrations highlight Nigeria's democracy and the struggle to break the grip of military rule. Nigerian politician Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, often referred to as MKO, was believed to have won the election, which has been widely applauded to be the freest and fairest in the country's history. Now, notable Nigerians believe June 12th, not May 29th, should become the country's Democracy Day. Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola, as well as Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode and Senator Dino Melaye are just some of the notable Nigerians who have added their voice to that argument. Still on June 12, the family of late Chief MKO Abiola has asked the federal government to declare him winner of the June 12 presidential election and pay his accrued entitlements as present to the family. The request was made by the head of the family, Muritala Abiola, at the commemoration of the June 12, 1993 presidential election on Sunday. Muritala Abiola argued that if the head of the interim national government, Ernest Shunekon, who held the position for only 3 months, still enjoys the perks of a former president, then late Abiola deserved the entitlement for dying for the enthronement of democracy in the country. We'll take a short break now. We'll come back and look at more news stories. Don't go away.
Not in my country.
Hello, Alhaji. Right now I'm in Abuja. No. Hello, Adamu. Right now I'm in Kano. Yes. When I get back, I'll just call you. Look, what is wrong with you? I'm talking on the phone and you are gesticulating and doing. What's wrong with you?
Daddy, where exactly are we as we speak?
Are you alright? This is Lagos.
Well, you just lied to someone that we're in Abuja.
Keep quiet. Who told you you can tell an elderly person is lying?
Daddy, you just lied. And by lying, you are raising corrupt children for the future of Nigeria. That is corruption, not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News now. Oil prices fell on Monday, weighed down by gloomy economic prospects in Europe and Asia, as well as a related strengthening in the US dollar. Brent crude fell to $50.03 per barrel, while US crude was down 61 cents at $48.46 per barrel. The softening comes a week after crude oil prices hit 2016 highs on the back of a quicker than expected rebalancing in physical oil markets. The father of a gunman who killed 50 people in an Orlando gay club says he did not know that his son had hatred in his heart. Omar Martin killed 50 people and wounded 53 more in the deadliest mass shooting in recent U.S. history before being shot dead by police officials. Sadiq Martin said he did not understand why his son carried out the shooting at the Pulse nightclub. He had earlier said his son was angered after seeing two men kissing in Miami. The murder sentencing hearing of former Olympian Oscar Pistorius has started at South Africa's Constitutional Court. Pistorius was in 2014 sentenced to 5 years in prison for killing Riva Steenkamp, his girlfriend, on Valentine's Day in 2013. He was found guilty of culpable homicide after saying during the trial that he shot his girlfriend through a locked bathroom door because he mistook her for an intruder. The Paralympian was released on probation on October 21st last year by South Africa's Department of Correctional Services after 10 months of his 5-year prison sentence. However, the conviction was overturned by the Supreme Court after 5 judges unanimously ruled that the previous judge had made a judgment which was fundamentally flawed. The Blade Runner now faces a minimum of 15 years in prison. The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has revealed that the late former Super Eagles coach Ahmadu Shuaibu was being owed 2 months' salary. This was contained in a tweet by the General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi, who revealed that every member of the NFF management are being owed 2 months' salary. He went further to state that all monies being owed the deceased would be paid to his family. Nigeria's House of Representatives has ordered that all members of the Nigerian Football Federation recognize Amaju Pinnick as its only duly elected president. The Nigerian Football Federation has been divided into 2 factions following a federal high court order which sacked Pinnick as NFF president. The court also ordered Chris Giwa to resume office as president of the Football Federation. The court ruling drew fears of incurring the wrath of FIFA, who are firmly opposed to the idea of civil courts interfering in football matters. The World Football Governing Body had warned the country of an impending ban if the court order is enforced. A French court has handed 2 England fans prison sentences over their involvement in rioting in Marseille. England fans clashed with French police on Friday, a day before their Euro 2016 opener against Russia. The violence reportedly started when England fans threw bottles at French riot police, who then used tear gas to disperse them. After the tear gas was released, the police restored calm to the area. The sentenced fans have also been banned from entering France for 2 years as part of their sentences. Meanwhile, French prosecutors say over 150 Russians were behind much of the violence in Marseille ahead of the Euro 2016 match between England and Russia. That's all we have on News Now. We thank you very much for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.